Right on. Well, welcome to the Disc Golf Mindset Podcast. This is our first ever episode. I hope you guys enjoy this. But I have two special guests with me today, Dave and Brandy Baumrucker of Circle One Disc Golf Community. I'm excited to have you guys on the show. Really introduce yourselves and talk about why we're here.
Okay. I'm Brandy. I'm the co-founder of Circle One Disc Golf Community, also known as CODGC.
And I'm David. I'm also the other co-founder of Circle One Disc Golf Community.
What is Circle One Disc Golf Community for those who don't know?
Great. So the CODGC is like a central space for disc golfers online. So it's a place where we can all kind of come together and support each other and connect with each other. And really it removes the problem of being in different places. And so by creating a central space, no matter where you are, both locally or nationally or internationally, you have a place where you can go find other disc golfers that want to communicate, connect, and do different things like that.
Right. Versus your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, things like that, you're combining the whole thing into one space. Because there's a lot of people around the world that aren't getting a lot of, if you're on Facebook, there's not people because of the censorship, I guess you'd say, that there's a lot of people that aren't truly getting the content that they're looking for and reaching out to those people out there.
That's exactly right. I mean, that kind of goes to kind of the core of what Circle One Disc Golf Community really is it's saying that we all have kind of our social media of choice. And really what it is saying, well, if we have a central space that where you don't have to stop what you're doing on social media, but rather we have an online community where we can all come from whatever we choose from and meet in one central area, then we have a way to make sure we're all having the same information. We're all getting the same, like we have more access essentially to who's in your backyard, to what's trending online.
Mm-hmm.
And does that kind of dive right into the missions and visions of what Circle One is?
Exactly.
Yeah. So CODGC's mission is to make a central space, whether you're a new player wanting to be introduced to the sport, or you're a player that's been around for a while. The main thing here is that when we have a central space, we can learn and collaborate and actually know what's going on. So we have created inside the community, we have groups based off of location. So it makes it really easy for players that want to connect on a local level. We have every single state, and we have a lot of different countries as well. And then we have subgroups. We'll get into that later, but we've really organized everything so that no matter where you are, you can connect right with your local community. And that's what it's all about, is being able to connect with these sub communities. Disc golf is a sport that has so many different sub communities. There's artists, there's people that are in the business, there are people that are pros, there are people that just want to meet up recreationally. So there's all these different parts of the community that are really, really great. And what we do is we house all of that, all the different disc golf communities together. So the vision of this is creating a central space that we can connect worldwide and be able to grow the sport right on a local level, national level, and international level by breaking down all those barriers, because the sport is divided across all these different social media platforms. We're not trying to replace that. Mm-hmm. The important thing is saying, use what you want to use, but come here as a central space to really connect with everybody just wants to play disc golf.
Right.
So.
Right. I think the only thing I'd add to that is it's a great starting place. And I think that it's how we support these micro communities is really how the sport really grows. Because,
I can agree more.
I mean, when I just thinking about the places we've traveled to, we've gone, thinking about playing disc golf in, on Oahu with the Oahu disc golf guys and the ladies, and then going all the way down to going down to Texas, going to Minnesota, going over to Montana. Like every culture every state has their own way of doing things, their own they have their tips and tricks. They have their just cool cultural things that they do, whether it's fun things that they do at events or how they greet each other. And I think a really dynamic part of this project is that by having a central space, we have a place where we can come share great ideas. And I think it's the sharing of great ideas that really amplifies everything. And this is true for, how we run tournaments, how we run leagues, how we support each other, how we start doing grassroots efforts if we're trying to restore courses or build courses or do outreach to, you know, recovery centers, mental health stuff, as well as schools, and really kind of just fostering this whole growth of things. So I mean, that's really kind of maybe the thing I would add to this, is that it's not just the central space, but understanding why it's a central space. That central space is so important because we need to have that thread that binds us all together, no matter where we're coming from as a starting point.
And it sounds like there's a lot, like you said, Brandy, there's a lot of thought that has gone into this, and a lot of the word you used was it's very put together. It's very organized. You said it's very organized, very thought out. What gave you guys the idea of even starting this? Like the whole, because there's so much to it, truly, like, and everything that's been added on right before you guys shut it down for rebranding. It blew me away personally, and it was just like, this was something that I had in my head, and it was talking to my girlfriend about a year and a half ago, or a year ago, going, I wish that a disc golf app had all of these things in one spot that I could access and talk to people, set up, you know, going to courses. And then for you guys to come into fruition, it was like somebody read my mind and kind of blew me away. So what really gave you guys the idea to put Circle One together?
Yeah, it's a great question. It started out back in kind of like 2019 as an idea. I was running a league, like a local doubles league, with a whole bunch of group of guys. And the problem that we ran into as kind of a core problem is that communication, because I couldn't just post on Facebook. I'd have to be doing things where I've got people that are communicating with me on Discord, Messenger, people who aren't on social media at all, people on Facebook, people on Instagram. It just became very laborious. So if I'm trying to set up a fun rec league for doubles, you know, we're just guys getting together, people getting together every Friday to do stuff. Well, I'm spending an extra hour and a half just trying to communicate with people. And initially it started out as saying, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way that we can have some kind of cohesion or some kind of continuity between, like, we all agree to use this platform to share. And that's how it started. And out of that kind of initial idea, Brandy and I started thinking, like, well, this isn't just a problem with communicating at leagues and tournaments. This is about, well, when we're looking for information, I don't like that I have to go and have 7 different accounts for 7 different platforms. So it's like,
Right.
well, there's a certain amount of information that only shows up on Reddit. There's a certain amount of information that only shows up on Instagram, only shows up on Facebook, only shows up on Twitter, only shows up on... It's like, it got to a point where I was like, well, if we're going to do this for communication for leagues, we might as well think bigger. We might as well think more cohesive to go, it's probably a challenge for communication across everything: forums, groups, dynamics, business conversations, league conversations, orientations to the sport, how people get lessons and information. And so that's kind of how this whole thing started. And it started in 2019 as an idea. And, you know, as like the idea of just transforming this into an actual walking, talking kind of business was like 2021. And that was kind of an evolution of us going, okay, it's not just an idea. It actually has some legs to stand on. And we were fortunate to have some people in the very beginning to help us kind of give us feedback. And kind of over the last year here of 2023, where we were a pro tour sponsorship, you know, we've had 2,000 people join the community. And it's been really, I mean, we're really grateful to have that, because people jumping on give us insights and give us feedback and give us all of this kind of live interactive stuff that helps us go, okay, I see it. We got to add that. We got to tweak this. We got to tweak that. And so over the last probably 3 or 4 years, that's really what this has been. It's been us not trying to rush it, but us trying to be very methodical and very, very intentional with going, okay, we hear people saying this. Let's put a lot of effort in honoring what they're saying. We hear people saying that they want this. Let's take the time to build this out and honor what they're saying. And that's where we're excited right now, is that we're finally at this place where we've done that, and we're really appreciative of all the people that have dedicated their time and their feedback to us. And now we're at this place where we're kind of opening this up to go, now it's ready for all of us to jump on and kind of and just kind of welcome people to start collaborating and kind of building something together.
Right. And I couldn't agree more, because personally for me, it is hard. It's so hard to bounce from my Facebook to my Instagram to my TikTok. Well, I don't like TikTok. Well, and sometimes I like YouTube, but you know, it's not a lot of content I want to see. So when it comes down to it, when you guys put everything into one, it really blew my mind personally, and it really gave me a place, because personally, I want to get rid of some of my social media accounts that I don't even use, because I feel like a lot of it is going to be able to be used on your guys' app. Truly, I think that it's coming to the point where that's where all mine my personal stuff's going to be going. Maybe my Facebook as well, my Instagram. But as far as TikTok and other places, I think that I think what's going on, you guys have really hit the nail on the head with people trying to get their content out, or people that want to see what content, the exact content they want to see, or if they just want to be a casual golfer, they just, want to meet up on a regular basis. I think what you guys have done and what's about to happen, people aren't ready for, really. But at the same time, they've been waiting for it, man. They've been waiting for it. So, what are some of the problems in the disc golf communities that you guys see going on?
I think there is a lot of creative people out there. There's a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurs. The beautiful thing about disc golf is that it's really giving. It's really community focused, and that's what we love about it as well. So, there's a lot of things being put out there on all these different platforms, like we mentioned. There's some things that Dave and I wish that we knew about sooner. There's a disc golf documentary that was started a couple years ago that I think is really awesome, and I really want to start letting people know about it. And that is something that we were able to fortunately support, but we knew about it with 12 hours left for the campaign. And we're like, wow, imagine if a lot of people knew about this. Imagine if there was one place where the people working on this documentary could say, hey, check this out. Do you want this to be something that we can all support and really make happen? Right. And that's just one example. There's a lot of different disc golf Kickstarter campaigns. A lot of people that were really excited about Disc Golf Con, right? We found out about that, but it was by the skin of our teeth. And we're like, how many people know about this, right? So circling back to that, it's you don't know what you don't know. And I think the problem with having so many different platforms is it's great when you want to just communicate in that fashion, but just recognize that if you're a entrepreneur, business person, startup company, anybody, you're posting on all these different platforms and you might not be reaching everybody. What if you're not on every single platform? What if you are on every single platform? That has another challenge to it. Now you're reposting the same thing all over, and that's really tedious. It takes up your value.
So hard.
Versus our global news feed, you could have your player profile and you could just say, hey, I'm starting this campaign. What do you think about it? And it goes out to the entire community.
Right.
That's the power. And so the challenges, I think, is that we have so many unseen boundaries that are keeping people apart. And the solution is just a central space. If we're talking about having a disc golf con, great idea. We are the 24/7 disc golf con. We are the convention. The reason people go to conventions is to collaborate, share ideas, and be together all in one space. That creates a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, and a lot of growth. We are that central space online.
Yeah. And I think that really sums it up well. And I think that maybe going back to the mission statement question, but access of information and also just the ease of cutting through the noise. I don't know how many times we've tried to post something on social media and you're competing with everything that's on there. So you're not just competing with other disc golfers. You're competing with every little piece of information that's on these massive platforms. And I just don't think it's a really effective use of time. And I think that for people who are trying to be entrepreneurs or content creators or open a business or part of a larger company that's trying to expand and kind of just push into new areas, time is money. And I think the idea that we have to be smarter with how we spend our time. We have to be more efficient with how we spend our time, not just with producing content, but how we consume content. I think that, at least for me, I think one of the problems is that I find myself having to invest an actual time and a focus and really being intentional with going out into all these different platforms. If I want to see what's going on the pro tour, if I'm following a pro and they're only on this certain platform, it just becomes a lot more laborious, and it causes a barrier to entry to me. What if I don't have that time, right? What if I don't have the time to commit to that? And now am I at I feel like I'm losing out just because I don't have the time to facilitate all of these different things at the same time.
Well, and to go off of that too, you guys have a lot of access. You guys have talked to a lot of big pros and been right in the midst of the pro tour. Are a lot of these big pros having the same problems and issues on their social media accounts, like when they're trying to reach their community or their fans and all that? Are they spending way too much time? Do they feel doing all the tedious work?
That's a great question.
It is a good question.
It's one of those things where when we were thinking about our time when we were actually on location for like the preserve last year, the thing that I noticed is that I think the people in the top 20, top 30 for both FPO, MPO, I don't think that they have a problem, but I'm thinking about the people who are just, they're qualifying for the pro tour. They're trying to make a name. They're in that
trying to get steam.
Right. They're in that like that 50 to a top 50 to a top 100. I can definitely tell because I'm seeing what they're posting and they're having to post the same information on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. And I'm like, if you're having to do all of this on all three of these things, that's taking away time from you practicing, from you pursuing sponsorships or other,
or just actual interacting with, the community and getting your name out there more. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. And I definitely understand that too. So, and that also goes right into my next question, and we've talked about it a little bit here, but who truly is Circle One disc golf community for?
Right. I mean, it's a great question. There's about 6 different groups of people, right? We have the players, and that includes everything from brand new players that are just looking for a place to kind of find other people to play with, to everyone that's pursuing being a pro player or being a tournament director and a league director. I think that's one section. I think we have a group of business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs that are out there. We have our content creators. I think that it's really important that we honor that space for those content creators because they help us with everything. I think about the people from foundation to overthrow to slingshot. Like all these people are providing value to the space, and we need to honor that. Then we're going to step into things like nonprofits and some of the work that they're doing, both with people with disabilities, schools, different recovery centers, just growing the sport. Paul Macbeth Foundation, and thinking about like what just my conversations with Joey Tamale about going to Africa and building infrastructure, going to Mexico and building infrastructure. I think it's important that we have a space for them, and then we keep going, and then we're going to have artists. Think about all the different art we have. People that die disc, people that create.
It's it's mind blowing. It's so mind blowing. Some of it coming out now
in the sport are. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. It is mind blowing. I mean, there's some people with some really incredible talent, and again, we want them to have a space so that their brand can grow, awareness about what they can offer, their partnerships can grow.
We have all these different components, like Dave mentioned, but at the center of it, what makes Circle One disc golf community really unique is that it's player centric. So our North Star is that we are here for the players. So what that means is that every single person signs up. It's a free account. You sign up under your real first and last name, no anonymous. So we're a very transparent community first, okay? Just like if you're going to go out to disc golf course, right? You're not going to show up with a ski mask on and use some random name, right?
Correct.
Right. And we want that online. And I think that holds the line on how people act online. It also makes it more personable when you're not seeing them face to face. So number 1, transparency. Number 2, it's going to be a player profile account that highlights players. So it's really at the center of it. It starts with the players and then it branches out from there. So that is where the heart of the community is with the players.
Let's talk about you guys' community impact. And when, what do you see it's already doing? And some of the success stories you already have.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Well, one of the ways that we used CODGC over the last 2 years was working on the Oakwood Park disc golf course restoration project we have here in Cottage Grove, Minnesota. It's a course that I grew up on. I grew up in this town. And so the course has always been like a diamond in the rough. It has a phenomenal, like almost 20, I think it's 26, 27 acres, both wooded and open. So much potential. And it just needed some TLC. And so we were able to use the community and the members of the community just in the starting point to help kind of be the rally cry. We were able to raise $19,000 in 30 days. We were able to replace 18 Mach 3 baskets with 27 branded veteran baskets. We got new course signs made. We integrated a road system throughout the park and a pro and novice layout. So it's like we have these two, kind of a rec and pro layout. We have this. And now the greatest thing about this whole project is that it coincided with kind of a restoration with the city. But more importantly is that Pro Masters Worlds for 2025 just got slotted for the Twin Cities. And Oakwood Park, as a result of this project, got considered and is going to be a part of Pro Masters Worlds in 2025, which is just a phenomenal way to see how the rubber meets the road with what we can achieve when we're all connected. And when we have that central space that we can kind of communicate and share ideas and also just collaborate on. I mean, I think the Oakwood Park project in Cottage Grove here has been kind of almost like a pilot. It's really been a testament to what we can do. And this is only the beginning of what we can do.
My question was, kind of going, didn't you guys do some work in Hawaii too? And then also, have you guys been sponsoring holes on the Pro Tour? Hasn't that been part of a little bit of what do you see that, how do you see that benefiting, or what was the purpose in general of really getting your name on the flagship on the Pro Tour?
So 2023, last year's season was really just about kind of just putting our name out there. I mean, it's really kind of a challenge. I mean, anyone that's in business, anyone that's doing something is going to know what I'm talking about here.
Right.
It's a risk reward benefit kind of analysis you have to do with where you put your marketing dollars. And so part of it is that we wanted just to do something that was going to like catch people's attention and also support the Pro Tour. The Pro Tour does a great thing of really being like kind of like the apex of the sport, and it really draws in things. And there's a lot of value to us. And so part of us wanting to partner with the DGPT is just saying, hey, we value this, we want to do this, and at this point in the game for where we are with our marketing, it made sense for us to put our name out there and to support that.
And so far, have you guys seen an impact from that?
I mean, over the last year, we've gained, we have now about 2,000 people on CODGC, and we've got people from 17 different countries and all 50 states already. And so clearly that has the DGPT has a huge impact. So now we have people from Guatemala and Belize, we have people from Switzerland, we have people from all the Scandinavian countries, the UK, Germany, Canada, it goes on and on. It's people from Japan and Australia.
And I'm not going to lie, just a little bit of me, the first little testing of the app, some of the people that I've met being on the Circle One Disc Golf community, it's like you said, I've met some guys out in Switzerland already and have I talk to them quite a bit always, and they've gone on my Facebook and they like me, they're messaging me back and forth all the time. So it's just things like that I don't think I would have met on other places, you know what I mean? And so I really think that made a huge impact for me using the app.
I don't know anywhere else where we would have been able to actually meet up with someone from Finland. He's like, hey, I'm going to be in Minnesota on these dates. And I just want to be introduced to new courses. And like, we played Oakwood with him.
Yeah, we were able to give him an introduction.
Cool. So that's such a cool thing.
And some of the stuff behind us, like this is his stuff from his shop from Finland, right here.
Oh, and he gave me I tried the Clash disc, the peach.
Yeah.
Wow, that was awesome. So thank you for sharing that disc. So that was a cool thing. So I mean, we got to trade some of our gear. He has a shop as well. So just a side note on that's the power of CODGC, is that you literally can break down like borders.
Right.
It's global.
Right.
It's local
and for those that don't know, like where disc golf mindset even comes from, like I come from a majorly depressing background. I went through a lot of struggles in life, and when I found disc golf, I was truly at my lowest of lows, the lowest of lows. And to have a community and seeing the impact that the community has on a single person, and it doesn't matter, where they're at, young or old. I've met some 60-year-olds that they're living in their car, but they play disc golf because they'd rather do that than go to the bar and spend their whole paycheck there and whatever else, and end up in an apartment because the people supporting them, giving them a couch for a little while, things like that. And they progress, and it's just because they staying with the communities, that it's almost like every bit about your demeanor changes, your whole lifestyle begins to change. Truly, especially for me, and I cannot count how many people I've talked to that it's been the same thing for them. If it weren't for the community of disc golf, not just the sport itself, but the community alone, they wouldn't even be alive today.
We have a great group of people like that too. That I mean, For people that don't know, Brandy and I also run a mental health private practice, and we've been doing that for the past 4 years. And so the idea of we have a strong affiliation with this idea of the power of community. We need community. It is the thing that supports us. It's the thing that keeps us structured, and more importantly, it is the fabric that is necessary for mental health and for well-being. Is that we have to have a sense of belonging, and we have to have a sense of just that, like our tribe, our group of people. And to what you were just saying, Stephen, that's exactly right. There's a whole bunch of people that are phenomenal people here in the Twin Cities that have like really just turned a 180 on their life, and disc golf has been a core component of them finding structure, finding new friendships, finding stability, and now they're thriving. And so I think that's just it's a beautiful part of the sport, really. Right. the kind of the inclusion that we have.
Yeah. And the simple fact, right there along with it, it doesn't matter, like back to your travels, everywhere you guys have traveled. I've also traveled all over the Western United States playing disc golf over the last couple of years, just because, my daughters live 12 hours away. So in between here and there's a lot of disc golf courses. Mm-hmm. And then living in Northern Idaho, around Caliber, Farragut State Park, like some major courses around here. Everywhere I played, from Wyoming, Montana, Utah, California, it never changes the community of people. Always so friendly, embracing. It doesn't matter who you talk to. You do have those certain jerks in the course, but usually it's just, you got the cocky, arrogant kind of people, but you'll have them everywhere. But I've never been somewhere where there's such a huge community of people that's truly that embraces you, brings you on board, and wants you to throw with us. Simply get out and just throw. It doesn't even matter how good you are. Right. Just come throw with us, really. And I think that's what Circle One means to me personally, is come throw with us. Like, everybody should be in the same place, and it shouldn't be separated out all over. If you want it, just basically if you want everything in one nutshell and want to feel a part of something, Circle One's the place to do that. I truly feel that. And I saw it 6 months ago when you guys started bringing me on for a lot of beta testing, just watching it all go down. It was crazy. It was crazy what was happening. And it's like a dream come true for me. And, I didn't shut down, and I'm glad that I get a chance to truly spend a lot of time on there now and really over the next year get into it hard. How can other people get involved with it?
Yeah, great question.
Or the sport in general. Truly, what are the future plans?
Yeah, I mean, anybody can get involved. Again, like Brandy said earlier, it's a free community. And really what it is we don't want to have any barrier to entry. We want it so that no matter what there's no limitation. So we have a mobile app that you can download from the Apple Store, the Google Play Store. We have a web optimized version that you can just use, go to the website on your phone. It's already kind of platformed out so that it works really efficiently with your phone, as well as you have the desktop and laptop experience. It gives you more of a dashboard experience to it. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have different familiarity with technology. And so we wanted to create 3 different ways that people can get on this platform to also reduce barriers to entry. And so, go to CODGC.com. You guys can see our homepage. You guys can explore the different things we got going, learn more about us. And more importantly, we have kind of some quick snapshots of how you can do things. And we're going to be producing more videos here in the coming future that's going to be walking through how you can use CODGC if you're going to be running leagues and tournaments, if you want to have your groups, if you want to have business, if you're an artist.
It's truly something. It's truly what we need too, is some guidance of how to do these things. Right. That's epic.
So to get involved, I mean, I think going back to what our conversation was just a little bit ago, the community of disc golf is one of the most unique and dynamic qualities of this sport that other sports do not have. And I think that we have to really realize that we all have something to contribute. And when we're thinking about this project, this Circle One disc golf community, it's about we're at this origin point where all of us can come on, grab your hand, get your handle, pair it with whatever you want to do, but this is kind of like the beginning of a brand new evolution in the sport, where we as the players, we as the people get to communicate and do things, and we have our space that we can call our own. So we're not trying to stop people from doing what they're doing on social media. That's not our place. What our place is to say is we've created something that works well for all of us. It has all the bells and whistles of everything you come to use to. Everything is familiar. all of the technology works exactly the same from all the major social media platforms. And we've kind of taken the best of everything and integrated those things into one kind of cohesive community. So whether you're a blogger, again, whether you do YouTube, whether you're someone who likes to do, you're an instructor and you want to give courses, we have a place for everyone to land. And really, it's when all of us start to come together in one space and contribute to the collective, contribute to something that's bigger than us. I can see that in the next couple of years, there's going to be a repository of information where people can go. There's going to be access points so people can jump in. Like I said before, when we're organizing all of the different groups around states and different countries, we do that so you have a central place to go. So again, thinking about road trips, this is why people can get involved. It's like, say you're in Michigan, right? And say you have a road trip planned down in North Carolina. There's a phenomenal set of courses from Michigan to North Carolina.
Yeah.
And if you're on CODGC, you can simply pop into Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, right? All the way down to the Carolinas. And you can pop into those groups and say, hey, I'm road tripping down. Where do I need to stop? Anyone willing to host me? Anyone have an Airbnb I can rent? Right? All of a sudden, we start to realize that we should be looking within the community to solve the things we need, right? Versus saying, let's look for these people outside of the disc golf space that don't really understand what we're doing, don't really know why we're doing it. Well,
looking at you, we're just trying to stay in Airbnb for a weekend, and they're just like, well, what are you guys doing? Why this loud with these chains in our yard? I don't know, you know.
Versus just connecting with another business owner that just happens to have that quality to say, oh, I get it. And take all the time you want, man. I understand where you're going.
Exactly, right? No, I think what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. And for everybody out there, like, so just so they understand, anybody that comes and becomes a member of Circle One Disc Golf Community, whether they're a creator, a blogger, podcaster, whatever, they can go from your site, from your app, and basically take their content and distribute it everywhere from there. That's just so they're fully understanding. You can get your content, whatever it is, from one space. You can spread it across absolutely everything from right there. And I think that's the biggest thing that people need to understand that they're scared of is, well, I still have all these other apps. You can, but from that one space, you're getting to everyone you want to reach right there.
Right.
You know? And I think that's what people really need to understand.
That's huge. Again, we're not here to make more work for people. And so one of the things we did in the player profile is you can link all your other social media accounts. And so this is it's like, again, if we consider CODGC as that central meeting place, you can go find people, go explore the profile, but then you have a portal that takes you to their Instagram account, takes you to their X account, takes them to your Facebook account. We want to try to help facilitate people finding people, bridging connections, making things so much more just an ease of saying, oh, cool, I met this guy, he's from Illinois too. Let's go see, oh, cool, he's got an Instagram account. Let's go see if I can go follow him, support him, do this.
And the player profile is actually tied to our member directory. So we've made a very thorough member directory. So say you only know somebody's like UDisc at handle or where they're located, you can actually filter out by first name, last name, what their skill level is, location, gender, all that stuff. And you can find it. Like I use that to go, women in Minnesota, right? And then I can easily get a whole list of people to connect with that are
I want novice women in Minnesota.
Yes.
Boom.
Correct.
And you've got them, right?
Exactly. It's that easy. So that's where everything's tied in.
Yeah, and to that point about searching for things, everybody gets to set their player rating. So we're using the kind of the old, not the new version of the PDGA rankings, but the old one: novice, beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, master, pro master. We have it all the way up to pro master. I think 60. So it's like people can go in there and you assign kind of where you are skill level wise, and that way it makes it so much easier. Again, for people who are looking to reach out to people in the community that are a part of a certain demographic, we organize everything so you're one click away from finding all of that stuff just whenever you want it.
A quick question with that: Are you guys still going to have the trophy system as well? Explain that a little bit for people that don't know.
Okay. So we wanted to play around with the idea. So we're really looking forward to the community's feedback on this. We are adding, or we already have, a gamification. So what it means is you can actually go to earn credits and trophies. And we've created all these different systems so that basically when you're engaging with your community, you can unlock different trophies, and every single action has credits. These credits are actually something that you can use as a discount in our internal store. So COGGC is going to have a pro shop, and basically just by engaging with your community and adding value, you're able to trade in these credits and get a discount on our merch. So it's just something
I
fun
think
that we're
that's
trying out. Yeah.
Right. And
yeah, and it's something to play with.
Yeah, every credit's worth 1 cent. It's something we're kind of working on right now, and it's just rewarding engagement. And so, because we are a free community, buying merch from us is going to be one of the ways people can support the free community. And we'll have more things that are going to kind of evolve out of that in the near future.
So, your guys' app is free. Everything is free. But will there be any charges for any other services, for businesses, anything like that?
So where we're at right now is we really don't want there to be any barriers to entry, and we really want people to explore this and really just give us feedback and have fun. So the majority of everything is going to be free. Right now we are just going to explore different avenues, and if there is anything that's going to be paid for businesses or for anything that might be featured, that's going to be simply for people who want to get more exposure in certain areas of our community. So that's something that we're going to look at down the line. But right now, we're just keeping everything free. We're getting feedback, and we're just going from there.
Right.
Perfect.
Just the pro shop. That's one way people can.
Right. And I didn't notice that.
Us.
And you guys got your towels in there, and they're epic. I love every single one of them. I can't wait to get my hands on a couple. I did have a question about, well, what about ads? I know there's a lot of concerns. Some feedback came through when the app first launched. Well, it's just going to be like Facebook and Instagram. You're going to have all these stupid ads popping up all the time.
I'm glad you asked, Stephen. So one of the pillars of what we started with when we created COGGC is that we didn't want there to just be ads everywhere. There's a lot of noise on social media, and there's a negative impact that happens for people as well when they're exposed to just so many ads. Obviously, they need to be paid, right? So these platforms, they basically, what social media does is nothing's for free. It's an illusion. So 100%. When you're putting your information out there on your profile, you're giving data so that basically like Facebook and all these other platforms can take that. Then they monetize that, and then they have those ads targeted back at you.
You become the product.
That's how you are the product, right? So many people have not grown up with the first version of basically the internet. Okay, so we're of the age of millennials. We're in that weird keystone age where we know analog and we know digital. So we were there when dial-up was happening, and I
still have an old rotary phone somewhere.
So looking back at those early days of the internet, it was all about just communities and connecting, and it was not sold out. Then social media happened, and so many people have only known social media, so they don't know anything different. So what I'm getting at with this is we want to be very mindful to not recreate those environments and really get rid of the noise. So what that means is anything that's going to be considered a paid or featured spot is something that people are going to seek out. So with social media, get on to whatever social media you're on, scroll through the feed. Are you choosing to see that ad being put in front of your face? Are you seeing that ad out? No, you're not. And so what we are going to do with COGGC is we are going to have these featured areas where if you want to explore something, you can explore it. But we're doing it in a way that is elevated. We're doing it in a way where people basically seek out the information because they want to know more about a business or an artist or a content creator's channel, right? So we're doing that in a way where the player is basically, they're initiating the contact to that featured zone or space versus you're just seeing it whether you want to see it or not. And so that's something that took us many years to figure out, is going, how can we elevate this and do this in a way that still honors the core principle of what we have, but still allows us to highlight people and also make this affordable and free for everybody, which means that there's going to be some areas that are paid for. That's how we're approaching it, and it's untested. It's something that we're going to just journey on through and get people's feedback and just try it. If it was easy, somebody would have already done it already. We're championing that. It's
right.
challenging to create a free space and also allow for areas that can be monetized.
Well, and it also takes a lot of time and feedback from users, feedback from the community, the trial and error. I think what you guys are doing it's hard. It's truly like, I mean, I played with it for a little bit just in the background when the AI first started popping up, and it was like, I don't know how these guys are doing it. And it's, what you guys are doing is truly great. And it kind of leads into, I guess, future plans and enhancements for the app and the website. What are some of your future plans? What does it look like?
So we're really excited. So with CODGC's 2024 launch, one of the main things you're going to notice is we're not going to be Circle One disc golf community as written out before. We really want to stand out and really just make it CODGC. So they're going to stand for the same thing. You're going to see a very sleek, new, elevated, I guess, more mature layout and simplified layout on the app experience. The colors are different. It's really revamped, but beyond the surface level, what we are really doing is we're creating different spaces that are really gonna. I'm really excited to get your feedback on this, Stephen. Is one thing is called the drop zone. Okay. So basically the drop zone is you're just going to drop in to all these different places. That we're going to have one where you can just drop into like hashtags, and it's all trending hashtags for like hashtag disc golf, hashtag play disc golf, like all these different
disc
things.
Dies,
And then you see everything.
You see everything with no ads, unless somebody's using that hashtag to promote product, right? But that's what it's going to be, right? So hashtags is one of them. You can drop into just YouTube channels. So we've picked all of the very frequent, popular YouTube channels. So you can just scroll on through and see all the new content, basically. And then we have another one for Rumble. I know not a lot of people know about Rumble, but there's a disc golf community on Rumble. So you should know about it. And this is a place to really explore without having to leave the app. There's Reddit communities. So we really want to integrate that in for people who really like Reddit. Our disc golf right there. And then we also have podcasts. And then in the future, we're going to explore blogs as well. So basically the drop zone is where people can drop in and see all the new trending content on all these different platforms from across the web without having to leave CODGC. So that's one of the exciting things. Dave, did you want to just kind of touch on spaces and kind of get an insight on that?
Yeah, so along with the drop zone, we're going to have spaces, which are going to be our business pages. And so one of the things that we know is really important to people who are business owners, entrepreneurs, and content creators, etc., is that you want to be speaking as your business. You want to be doing those things. And so right now we have kind of our beta out for spaces. It's going to be the beginning of our business pages. You can link those to groups, and also you can link all of your websites and all your socials to that too. We're in the process of getting it so that you can speak as your business to the community. You can mention as your business, and you can kind of work just like we do on Facebook. It's a big undertaking, but it's in the process, and that will be showing up a little bit later this year when we get that finally all the beta of that tested and get that actually out. So right now what we have is the beginning of spaces. It's going to act as like a global directory. You can have it for people who are like artists, food, businesses, education and training. If you want to be a person of interest, so if you're a pro, or if you're a course director, or if you're a course designer, you can host your own space. And that space is going to be able so that people can we can build this growing directory of everybody that wants to be listed. So it's kind of like a white pages for the entire sport of disc golf. So that's a big component we have. Again, and as we keep going this year, the integration with that app mentions is really going to take it to the next level, where we can finally get it so that you can assign moderators, you can assign admins to your space, you can link it to a group, so you can have a living conversational component to your business, as well as being able to have people mention you and mention other people or your sponsors. Again, for businesses that want to sponsor players or partner with other companies, we're integrating it in so you can mention everybody, and those things will start to kind of flow within thing. Everything's going to post within the news feed, which is going to be really, really fun. So as we continue to develop spaces, it's going to be so easy just to go, oh, wow, look at what's going on. Look at this. And then I can one click away, I can jump into these, both looking at the business side of things, looking at like the group side of things and all that.
One thing that we just released, we're so excited about this. It seems so simple, but it's reactions.
Yeah.
We now have reactions for posts and comments, which I think is going to drive a lot of engagement. We're not going to give away.
It truly does. Like, people like to do that. We all like to, like, oh, I care about that post. I love that post. Oh, thumbs up.
It's just like a simple. Yeah, and we're not going to tell everybody. Some of the reactions are unique to our company. So just a disc golf. So we're not going to give that away just yet. You'll have to hop on there and check it out. So that's going to be available as soon as we launch. And then a few other things that we really want the community to join in the discussion. So one thing about CODGC is that we have a group called Community Feedback that everybody can join. It's a direct line to both of us, and it's public facing so that people can really develop and give feedback and have a direct line to us. So we have a roadmap, and a couple things that are on the roadmap that people can join into discussions. So let's click on the roadmap button, says join discussion, and they can give us their input and see what people are talking about. One of the things is dark mode.
Right.
Dark mode is something that we've heard a lot about. Another thing is community polls. So people can basically ask any question out to the community, and then when you answer it, you get to see what the results are. So those are two other things that we're really excited about. And then a few other things farther down the road. Right.
Exactly right. So when we think, if you go to the roadmap and check it out, there's going to be some fun things that we've got on they're going to be evolving over time, kind of like a Spaces Pro. So there's going to be some enhanced features that people can choose if they want to or want to add to that. And there's going to be some other things that we're going to leave as Easter eggs you guys can go find on the roadmap, that things that we have in work, things that take the things you can't get done in say 4 months, things that take maybe a year to build out. But we want people to go see where we're going with it. And I think the big piece with this, with the community feedback group, is that like all of us are the community, all of us are disc golf. So while we're the ones that built the infrastructure for this, it's all of us. All of us are the things that make the sport so beautiful and so dynamic. And so that's really what's really exciting about this, and why we want people to have that ability to influence and to add their 2 cents to this, is because everyone has, like, there's genius everywhere. Everybody has great ideas. And I think that when we open ourselves up and we take a different approach, which is saying, let's just allow people to give their feedback. Let's take that into consideration. Like, let's celebrate the fact that a lot of people have great ideas, and let's not try to like kind of negate like certain things because we have certain hoops we want people to jump through, but rather saying, if the community at large, if we the collective want this, well, then that's telling us where we need to take things. And I think that's what this project is really about, is the more people that join on CODGC, the louder the voice gets, the more momentum we gain as a sport, as a culture, and it gives us a lot more authority in how we choose what we value, what we want to see more of, what we want to see less of. And that's kind of the core component of that community feedback group, is saying, we want to hear from you. Right? We want to understand what you see and what you think would be an enhancement, or what you think maybe is not needed as much.
Right. Well, I think that's a great feature too. And to go kind of along, going backwards just a little bit, and not really to quote you guys too much, but what you guys mentioned some sponsorships you guys are doing for holes, correct?
Oh,
and you guys were reaching out.
So that's a fun thing. So we recently we have a friend out that runs Oahu Disc Golf, Jason Kozlik. He's done a tremendous job. If you're ever going out to Oahu, definitely check him out.
Well, I got family out in Maui, so it's definitely going to be one of my stops when I get out there.
You need to meet up with him.
He's taken the lead with designing kind of new courses out there, partnering with country club, partnering with different golf courses out there to really enhance the disc golf on Oahu. And one of the things that he reached out to us was that they're building a new course and they were looking for hole sponsors, and we're more than happy to do that. And I think that going back to what we mentioned about being a pro tour sponsor last year, our focus is going to be shifting a little bit more towards saying we really want to help people with this grassroots effort. So if you are restoring a course, if you're looking for whole sponsors, if you're trying to find people to help sponsor new baskets or different things, we encourage you to reach out to us. Those are the kind of projects we want to support. Those are the things we want to do. And so it could be any state, any country, doesn't matter where you're from. If you got a fun project, just drop us a line, and we'd love to look at that and see what we can do for you. Not everything's going to work, but we're going to go out of our way to take a seriously look at what you're sending us.
Yeah.
I think once the app gets out there and Spaces really gets going, I think that's going to be a great place for people to go and find those sponsors too. For, you know, people that are tournament directors, you got your course directors, you have, you know, anybody out there really. I think that's going to be a great place for people to reach out to for, you know, that want to help out, you know, supporting the community, or reach out to sponsors or anybody. Because like I reached out to you guys a little bit a few weeks back about kind of my plan and what I really want to do. I want to hit a few juvenile correction facilities. You know, I spent most of my juvenile years in a juvenile correctional facility, but it was based on a positive peer culture, and what they teach you in there. They're basically holding yourself accountable, but then they have access to, you know, PE education. They have access to sports throughout the entire year. I think that if disc golf is one that they would stick with afterward, because it's an individual, but at the same time, it's definitely a team, you know, community kind of thing that really brings people together. And I think that showcasing that, you know, just that kind of thing, and just the simple fact that I could come to you guys for insight on that, and hope to work with you guys in the future on that, would be epic. But at the same time, I think that what you guys have going on is truly a blessing to all disc golfers. Truly, everybody out there looking to reach out, to get themselves out there, to see the content they want to see, to push their content where they want it to go from one localized spot, and not have to deal with all the BS at the same time. You know what I mean? I think that's great. I think that people can get out there and truly just be themselves, or just watch and learn, or whatever it may be, or just reach out because they don't know what else to do. They heard about, you know, CODGC, they heard about Disc Golf Mindset, and got on and found out that they could reach out to people on there and get with whatever they need in life. And I think that what you guys have going on is a great thing.
Well, and to your point, Stephen, I think that I'm glad you brought that up, because I mean that's one of the things. I mean, again, we go back to like the mental health perspective that we have. I mean, the community, it goes back to community. And when I think about everything in terms of reaching out to juvenile facilities, to recovery, to mental health, to people who are just going through life transitions, people who are going through loss, I think that one of the most amazing things about this sport is it's a lifetime sport. It's open to everybody. You don't need to be super fit to really have a great time and build connections and friendships. And I think that that's a very unique quality of this sport, is that it is a lifetime sport. It's a sport that we can start playing when we're 6 years old, and we can play it till we're 66 years old. And I don't know many sports that allow you to do that. I come from a rugby background. I can't keep doing that. Meaning I put in 15 years playing, you know, both college and men's, but that takes a toll on your body. And so for me, 100%. It's like I kind of re-tapped in. I started playing when I was a young teenager in high school, and go through everything, kind of go to college, do the other thing. But I find myself coming back to disc golf time and time again, because I'm not going to get injured really doing it unless I'm going. I mean, obviously pros.
You're going hard, yeah.
Right. But the biggest thing is that it's something that I can integrate into my life seamlessly. I can have fun with it. I can step in and step out. And I think when we think about like helping, maybe being a guiding light for people who are going through rough patches in their life, I think that that's really what we're trying to demonstrate. And so I think the project you're working on, you reached out to us, along with, I know there's a lot of people doing really, really amazing things out there for people, is that oftentimes we just have to lead by example. We just show people that there's a better way, and we just be that pillar to say, hey, you don't have to do it that way. There's this whole community of people that are willing to accept you and wanting to do this. All you have to do is just show up. I think that has a tremendous power to it. And I think that where we are as a country, and just where the world is in general, we need more of that. We need more of us kind of open arms versus kind of crossed arms.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, trust me, if anybody out there is looking for something to do, there's a tournament every single weekend. They're looking for flaggers, they're looking for spotters. trust me, they need help on those courses if you are bored on the weekends and don't really throw tournaments. Go get involved, seriously, right? I mean, even in dubs, you go find your local putting leagues. There's so much out there that people don't know about what's going on that, I think that this is going to be really, you guys' release is going to be an eye opener to a lot of people. With how fast the sport's growing right now, and people say the sport's not growing. It is. It's such a tremendous rate that you can't turn a blind eye to that. You're kind of blind if you or naive to think that the sport isn't growing at a overwhelming rate. And and maybe it's not PDGA members signing up, but just disc golfers in general showing up to a course, random people with 2 discs in their hand, and a family sharing 1 disc. I've seen that multiple times where I've just set my bag down. I'm like, well, I don't throw this, or this. You guys are seriously all just throwing 1 disc? Oh yeah, we love it. Well, here's like 5 more. I don't throw any of these. My bag. You know what I mean? Like, and there's been multiple times I've done that, and I've seen them many, many times from then on. They keep coming out. And it's just the little things that you can do for people also that keep bringing those back. And you see the smiling faces. You see those kids when they light up getting a disc in their hand. They have no idea how to throw it. They're throwing a Halo Wraith, and they're 6 years old, and you're just like, but they're still having a blast with it, And so it's just that it puts a smile on my face. Really, I don't have any other questions. If there's anything else you guys really want to share with what's going on in Circle or CODGC, anything you guys want the people to know?
Anything offhand for you?
I guess we just want to invite people to explore it. It doesn't cost anything. We have a YouTube channel. This interview is going to be only found, the full interview is only going to be found on Disc Golf Mindset. So go to that YouTube channel, go explore all of the socials for that. For us, it's just hop on, check it out, connect with us on there. And share your feedback. That's where we're at. It's very simple. Just check it out. If you think it's something that is of value and you're excited about it, let other people know about it. It's just a place for all of us to connect. And, I just want to thank you, Stephen. Disc Golf Mindset.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, but it's been great to meet up with you and meet you as well from like day one. Your energy has been absolutely amazing. It's actually like you embody the sport, right? In a person.
Thank you.
Like definitely. Like
thank you, guys. That means a lot.
It's so amazing to meet somebody who just really has all this positive energy for everyone and everything and really just meets life with vigor. And so it's wonderful to have a connection with you and Disc Golf Mindset, and for us to be at a point where we can collaborate. We're really excited for 2024.
I greatly appreciate that.
So thank you so much. We look forward to seeing where Disc Golf Mindset goes and being along the journey with you. So thank you for hosting us.
I'm happier. Thank you guys for, bringing me along for this ride, from day one when you guys reached out to me. We're going on a year now. We're coming up on a year now of our first communication. So I'm excited to see where the future takes us. I'm excited to see where our partnership goes, because I'm going to work with you guys a lot. I hope coming up throughout the year, see where this goes. I know, and for everybody out there, please like, follow, comment, subscribe, Disc Golf Mindset and Circle One, CODGC. Check them out. We're here all year and for the rest of disc golf lifetime.
Right. Well, I think the last thing I'd add is maybe a send off for everybody that's watching this. It's simply that Brandy and I are 2 people, and this has been a passion project that we bootstrapped from the last 4 years because it's a vision that we have, and every single person that we've met as we're continuing to do this has been very responsive to it in a very positive way. And so I guess the invitation we have following this interview and learning more about this is that we've taken it this far, and now we're at that place where we want everybody to come on and add your stuff. We built the superstructure of this, but now it's time for the collective, all of us, to come and add those little dynamic parts about what makes you, what makes your business, what makes your league, your club. that's where we're at, and we're hopefully this is an invitation for you guys just to come check it out. It's not perfect, but we have a dedication affecting it as time goes on, and the way that we're going to continue to do that and be on the tip of the spear with positive change and what we want to do is with your feedback. We need now we're at that place where it's like we can only see so much. We only have our own eyes, and so it goes back to what we were talking about before in this conversation about that there's genius everywhere. There's great ideas everywhere. There's brilliant people everywhere. And so that's kind of maybe my send off. If you're watching this is that come join us and can be a part of something bigger that really is dedicated to just elevating the sport for decades to come.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And everybody out there needs to be a part of Circle One Disc Golf. If you haven't, you need to get on there, be a member. The new release is coming this next week, hopefully.
What
is the release date?
Yeah, depending on when you're watching this, we're gonna set it for February 2024.
Cool.
So that way people can hop on right at the beginning of the weekend and have time to explore it.
Happy birthday to me, I guess.
Yeah.
My birthday's February 13th, so I'm excited. That's why I'm doing this whole thing. So this is really cool.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm excited for the whole thing to launch. Everybody needs to get on there, check it out. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. Yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope everybody likes, comments, and subscribes down below. Follow Circle One, follow Disc Golf Mindset, and have a great day. Stay positive, everyone.